McLaren's journey this season has been nothing short of extraordinary. They've gone from being underdogs to frontrunners, dominating the Constructors' Championship to such an extent that they might seal the title in Azerbaijan with 7 races to spare. But while the team as a whole looks unstoppable, it is inside the garage where the real drama is unfolding. 2 young lions, both hungry for glory, both chasing their maiden world title, now find themselves on a collision course. Piastri leads, but Norris is closing in, and the Italian Grand Prix has thrown gasoline onto a fire that was already threatening to burn out of control. At Monza, a pit stop fiasco, an awkward position swap, and a cloud of suspicion over McLaren's motives left fans and pundits divided. Was Oscar Piastri unfairly sacrificed for Lando Norris, or did the team simply stick to their racing values? Even Bernie Ecclestone has called foul, while Zak Brown insists that Piastri deserves a fair shot at glory. This isn't just about a championship, it's about trust, legacy, and the future of McLaren itself. And if you care about F1's most explosive title fight in years, then you'll want to stick around. Before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe, because this story could define the next decade of Formula One. The tension inside McLaren this season is a storyline worthy of a Netflix drama. 2 of the most talented drivers of their generation, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, find themselves locked in a battle not just for wins, but for the ultimate prize, their maiden Formula One World Championship. And with McLaren dominating the Constructors' Championship so heavily that they could seal it with 7 races to spare, the stakes for the driver's title are even higher. Every decision the team makes now is magnified, and every call is under suspicion. The flashpoint came at Monza. Lando Norris was running in second place, seemingly on course for another strong finish. But then disaster struck in the pits. A 5.9-second stop, an eternity by modern F1 standards, cost him dearly. Piastri, who had already pitted, gained track position. Normally, in racing terms, that's the price you pay. But McLaren intervened, instructing Piastri to hand the place back to Norris. Officially, the team argued that this was simply restoring the pre-pit stop order, ensuring fairness. But for many fans and observers, it looked suspiciously like McLaren were protecting their long-time protégé at the expense of their championship leader. Former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone was among the first to call out the situation. He argued that fairness cannot mean penalising a driver for a team mistake. And he's not alone across social media and in paddock conversations. A narrative has been building. McLaren would rather crown Lando Norris champion than Oscar Piastri. It's an explosive accusation, but in Formula One, perception is everything. Even if the team insists on neutrality, the optics of that Monza call will linger for weeks to come. Zak Brown, McLaren's outspoken CEO, has moved quickly to shut down the rumours. He insists Piastri is not only fast, but deserving of the title. He points to McLaren's philosophy of transparency, where both drivers are given equal opportunity. Yet his words face a credibility test. After all, Norris is more than just another driver to McLaren. He's been part of their journey from midfield struggler to title contender, a poster boy for the team's resurgence. If Piastri, in just his 3rd season, were to beat Norris to the crown, it could fundamentally reshape the story McLaren has spent years crafting. What makes this situation even more volatile is the psychological contrast between the drivers. Piastri has been ice-cool, dismissing suggestions that he needs to change his approach. He claims his risk-taking is measured and won't shift regardless of the championship picture. That calmness may prove his strongest asset. He's not rattled by the politics swirling around him. Norris, on the other hand, faces immense pressure. He knows his time is now. Having spent years as the future world champion, failing to seize the title in McLaren's golden season could haunt his career. Then there's Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, who has provided his own explanation for Monza. According to him, the pit stop sequence was designed to cover Charles Leclerc, with Piastri stopping first and Norris second. The intention, Stella insists, was never to alter positions. Norris's slow stop distorted that plan, leaving the team with no choice but to restore the original running order. In Stella's view, this was about team principles, not favouritism. But the problem is simple. When titles are at stake, every explanation feels like spin, and the more McLaren has to justify itself, the less convinced people become. The bigger picture is even more fascinating. McLaren, unlike Red Bull or Mercedes in the past, have not been accustomed to managing a two-driver title fight. This is new territory. Do they let both fight freely, risking a bitter fallout? Or do they pick a number one, ensuring at least one champion, but at the cost of internal harmony? History shows how dangerous this can be. Think Hamilton and Rosberg at Mercedes. Think Alonso and Hamilton at McLaren in 2007. When two evenly matched teammates collide in the hunt for a title, it rarely ends peacefully. For McLaren, the risk is existential. If they appear to favour Norris and Piastri loses out unfairly, they could alienate a driver who might define the next decade. But if they allow Piastri to triumph, they risk damaging the trust and confidence Norris has placed in them since his debut. It is a no-win situation, one that could fracture the unity that has propelled them to the top this year. The numbers tell part of the story. Piastri's lead exists largely because of Norris's non-finish at the Dutch Grand Prix. Without that, the two would be separated by even fewer points. With 8 races to go, the margin could shrink rapidly. Azerbaijan may crown McLaren constructors champions, but for the drivers, it will be another battlefield. Every pit stop, every strategy call, every safety car decision will carry the weight of championship destiny. And make no mistake, fans, pundits and rivals will scrutinise every move. So where does it end? If McLaren stay true to their principles, they will let the fight unfold naturally. If Piastri wins, it will be a story of a young driver seizing glory at the first attempt. If Norris triumphs, it will vindicate years of faith and investment. But if there is even the hint of manipulation, if the balance tilts unfairly, then McLaren's reputation could take a hit that overshadows even their success. The battle between Piastri and Norris is not just about speed, it's about trust, legacy, and the philosophy of competition itself. So, what do you think? Is McLaren genuinely giving both drivers an equal shot, or is there already an invisible hand tipping the scales in favour of Lando Norris? And if Piastri does win his maiden title, will it come down to pure racing, or a battle of trust within McLaren itself? Let me know in the comments below.